My name is Lena Matthews, and the week my parents tried to ban me from my sister's wedding was the week I finally decided to choose myself. Growing up, I was always the quiet one, the sensible one, the invisible bridge that held our family together. My younger sister, Ava, was the golden child, bubbly, adored, always right even when she wasn't. I didn't mind, not really, until her engagement turned into a family battlefield. She was marrying Nathan, my ex-boyfriend from college. Yes, that ex-boyfriend, the one who had once told me he wasn't ready for commitment, only to propose to my sister 2 years later. When I found out, I felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. But I stayed silent. I smiled through dinners, helped plan decorations, even pretended it didn't sting when they asked me to help choose her dress. I was trying to be the bigger person, until I overheard my parents whispering one night. "We can't risk Lena making a scene," Mom said. "Maybe it's best if she doesn't come." My father agreed quietly. "We'll tell her it's for her own good." The next morning, they called me to the living room. My mom folded her hands in her lap like a judge about to deliver a verdict. "Sweetheart," she began, "we've decided it might be better if you skip the wedding. Things could get complicated." I stared at her, my throat tight. "Complicated? You mean uncomfortable for you?" Dad sighed. "Please don't make this harder than it is. It's Ava's day." I laughed bitterly. "So you're banning me because she's marrying my ex?" Neither of them spoke. That silence said it all. I went to my room, packed a bag, and booked the first flight I could find. The destination didn't matter at first. I just wanted distance. But then I saw a last-minute deal. Maldives, 50% off. Something about it felt poetic, like the universe was offering me an escape. I grabbed my passport and left without saying goodbye. On the plane, I cried quietly, not out of sadness but out of release. For once, I wasn't doing what was expected of me. I was choosing peace over obligation. When I landed, the world looked like a dream. Blue water stretching endlessly, white sand soft as sugar, palm trees swaying like dancers. The air was warm and forgiving, and for the first time in years, I could breathe. I checked into a small beach villa, threw my phone into a drawer, and disappeared from everyone's radar. The first few days felt like waking up from a long nightmare. I swam at sunrise, read books by the ocean, and talked to strangers who didn't know my story. Every night, I wrote a letter to my younger self, the one who always tried to fix everything for everyone. "You don't owe anyone your silence," I wrote. "You deserve peace." On the day of the wedding, I sat on the beach with a coconut in my hand and watched the sun rise over the turquoise horizon. Somewhere halfway across the world, my family was posing for pictures, pretending everything was perfect. My phone buzzed with messages I ignored. "Where are you? You're being selfish. Ava is crying." I turned it off again. For once, I wasn't responsible for anyone else's emotions. Later that evening, the resort staff hosted a small bonfire dinner. A few travelers joined me, people from different countries, each with stories of their own heartbreaks, disappointments, and restarts. We laughed until tears ran down our faces, strangers becoming temporary family. When fireworks lit up the sky above the water, I made a quiet promise to myself, never let guilt dictate your life again. A few days later, I finally turned my phone back on. Dozens of missed calls. Then one voicemail, from my father. His voice was softer than I'd ever heard it. "Lena," he said, "your mother feels terrible. Ava wants to talk. We shouldn't have handled things the way we did. Please come home when you're ready." I listened twice before deleting it. I didn't respond, not out of anger, but out of calm certainty. They'd made their choices, and so had I. Before flying back, I spent one last evening watching the sunset, my feet buried in the sand. I thought about how I used to beg for acceptance, for a place in a family that only valued me when I was quiet. And I realized something powerful. Sometimes walking away isn't running. It's reclaiming your worth. When I finally returned home weeks later, they greeted me awkwardly, uncertain how to approach me. Ava hugged me, crying, saying, I didn't know it hurt you that much. I smiled softly. It's okay. I needed space to remember who I am. That evening, as I unpacked, I pinned one of the postcards I'd bought in the Maldives above my desk. It read, "Peace is the loudest revenge." I looked at it for a long time and smiled. My parents had tried to ban me from their picture-perfect celebration, but in doing so, they gave me something better, a chance to find myself. And in the quiet waves of the Maldives, far from their rules and guilt, I finally did.